Did you know that you can help your baby learn and grow from the moment they're born? Actually, about 85% of your child's brain development occurs before the age of 5 years old. In this video, I'm sharing some simple yet effective activities for your 0 to 3 month old baby that will help support development and allow you to form a deep connection with your newborn. Before we begin, I just want to say that this video is intended for babies between the ages of around 0 to 3 months. I like to include a range because while each month technically has its own developmental milestones, every child grows and develops at their own pace. So if your baby is on the younger end and not yet responding to some of these activities just yet, don't worry. They will come in time. That being said, if you do have any concerns about your child's development at any time, don't hesitate to speak to your pediatrician about it. You may not realize it, but reading to your baby, even from the age of birth, has amazing benefits. Reading to babies helps to build memory, listening, and vocabulary skills, learn about communication, and helps them to understand the world around them. And those are just a few of the benefits. Reading is also a great activity to bond with your little one, as you can get close, cuddle, and interact with your baby throughout the story. For this age group, you want to choose short, simple books with vivid pictures. When reading to your baby, point to the pictures and use exaggerated, expressive language and sounds. Who is always on the prowl? Peekaboo, it's the owl. See the owl? The owl says, ooh, ooh, ooh. I have a whole video on how to read to your baby that I will link down below in the description, so definitely go check that out after this for even more reading tips. So there are these little amazing messengers in the brain called neurons. And what neurons do is they use electrical impulses to transfer information to different parts of the brain and the nervous system. There is a special group of neurons in the brain called mirror neurons. These neurons are special because they fire when we're completing a certain action or when we're watching someone else do that same action. These mirror neurons help babies learn through imitating the actions of people around them. To see these mirror neurons in action, you can try a game of Copycat. Position your baby so they can see your face clearly, then make very exaggerated facial expressions in front of them. Watch your baby closely to see if they try and imitate the expressions that you're making. Don't worry if they're not copying anything yet. They're taking in all the information and still learning from the experience. You can also imitate the facial expressions that your baby makes back to them. Mirror neurons also work with the sounds that babies hear. Try doing this activity with sounds as well. Make different sounds and change the inflection and tone of your voice while encouraging your baby to do the same. Again, you can copy his or her sounds as well. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, good job. Make sure your baby has a clear view of your face and be sure to exaggerate your mouth as you move it to make the sounds. Talking to your baby is so beneficial for development, not to mention it's so adorable when they babble and coo right back at you. Our next activity is to have a conversation with your newborn. So this may seem a little silly at first, but you would be surprised how much your baby gets out of this. By talking back and forth with your newborn, you're supporting early language development and teaching them early concepts of language and communication, such as eye contact and taking turns while speaking. Position your baby to look at your face and then simply start talking. For this exercise, you'll want to say real words to them rather than the sounds like we did in the previous activity, and you'll want to speak in a higher pitched, exaggerated tone. This is sometimes referred to as parent ease or mother ease, but talking in this way captures baby's attention and will encourage him or her to coo right back at you. Be sure to pause after speaking to allow your baby to respond back to you. This teaches them the idea of taking turns and going back and forth during a conversation. Hello. Yes. Hello, Nonette. Oh my goodness, you have so much to say tonight. Having conversations with your baby multiple times a day has not only been shown to strengthen language skills and vocabulary, but it's also a great activity for social emotional development as it strengthens the bond and relationship between you and your baby. So you've probably heard the term tummy time before, and you know that you should be doing it very early on, but what exactly is it and why should you do it? Tummy time is simply putting baby on his or her belly for short periods of time while he or she is awake. This helps to strengthen the muscles in your baby's neck and shoulders. Tummy time can also help prevent what's called positional plagiocephaly, which is when a flat spot forms on the baby's head from laying on their back too frequently in the first few months after they're born. You can and should start tummy time right from birth. Start by laying your baby belly down on either your chest or across your lap for just a few minutes at a time each day. Slowly increase the time and frequency as your baby gets older. If your baby's closer to 2 or 3 months and has been doing tummy time for a little while, you can move this activity down to the floor. Lay out a clean blanket and have your baby lay face down for a few minutes at a time. By the way, it helps if baby is changed and fed and happy when you do tummy time. One activity you could do to make tummy time more fun is to incorporate some kind of object or something fun to look at into your play. I love to use a boppy to prop my son up so that he can see better, and then I place a toy down in front of him. Encourage your baby to touch and interact with the toy while they're on their belly. Again, this might not happen right away, but it will come with time. I love using rattles for this because it encourages baby to lift their head even more when they hear the sound. By the way, if you guys are new to my channel and you don't already know me, my name is Jess. I am a mama of 2 boys. I also have a master's degree in education with a concentration in early childhood, and I taught preschool and kindergarten for over 12 years. The Innovative Mama was created to help families learn about child development through fun and educational activities, so definitely subscribe if you're interested in seeing more content just like this. When your baby is first born, they can only see about 8 to 12 inches in front of them. They tend to prefer black and white or high contrast images because that is what they can see well in the beginning. By the time they reach around 3 months, they can now start to see color and a little bit further away. A stimulating visual activity is to encourage your baby to look at high contrast images or books. You can either print the images yourself or purchase some kind of cards. I picked up this pack of cards on Amazon and I totally love them because they grow with your baby. There are 4 sets with both black and white and colored images, so you can simply hold them in your baby's line of vision and observe how they look at them. I will link this set down in the description box if you want to check them out. You can also cover the image and uncover it slowly to add another element to this activity. Babies don't have the concept of object permanence yet, which is the understanding that an object is still there when it's covered or hidden away. So this serves as a little bit of a surprise or peekaboo type of activity for them as well. Again, seems really simple, but this is really stimulating for them and creates those beautiful connections that help those little brains to grow. Have you noticed your newborn's eyes crossing from time to time? Don't worry, this is totally normal, and it's due to the eye muscles not being developed enough to work together and focus yet. As we talked about before, when your baby moves closer to 3 months, their vision starts to become clearer and their focus gets better. One thing they start to get really good at is tracking objects with their eyes. To practice this skill, simply hold an object in front of your baby's line of vision and wait for them to focus on it. Then slowly start to move it in different directions, like from side to side or up and down. Start slow and then increase the speed to challenge your baby as he or she gets older and more proficient at this skill. Mirror play is such a fun activity for babies, and although they will not understand that they're actually looking at their reflection until about 1.5 to 2 years, newborns still love this activity and the visual stimulation that it brings. Position a mirror in front of your newborn while they're either lying on their back or their tummy and watch their expressions as they study their reflection. You may notice that when your baby makes small facial expressions, they will become exaggerated when he or she notices them. For a bonus, add a tracking element to this activity by moving the mirror slowly from side to side and watch as baby follows. Next up is follow the sound. Take a rattle or something that makes noise and place it on the side of your baby out of their line of vision. Shake it and see if your baby can turn their head towards where the sound is coming from. Babies and humans in general are very social creatures by nature. We are programmed to thrive on connection and communication with others. This starts even before birth, as baby is quite literally connected to mom inside the womb. Social emotional development is how babies become self-aware and form relationships with others. Anything you're doing with your baby is helping social emotional development, especially those baby cuddles. Dancing with your baby is a fun activity to promote this social emotional learning. Just put on some music and dance away. Go ahead and mix it up with some fast and slow tempos and dance along to the beat to make it even more fun for baby. Babies learn everything through their senses. These next few sensory activities are fun and easy ways to strengthen your baby's cognitive development, or how they think, explore, and figure things out in the world around them. Did you know that your baby's sense of smell develops in the womb? They can actually smell different scents in the amniotic fluid while in the womb, and smell is how they recognize their mother when they're born. Although newborns don't like super strong scents, you can try wafting some naturally scented things by them to see if they react. Citrus fruits are a great place to start. Just cut open an orange or a lemon, for example, and pass it by your baby to see the reaction. Once your baby gets older, smelling jars are a really fun activity to try, so keep this one in mind. I actually show you how to make these in my baby sensory activity video that I will link down below, so be sure to check that out when your baby's a little older. Allow your baby to explore different textures with a fun texture glove. Take an old glove and glue different items with different textures on each finger. Lie your baby down and run the different textures slowly over their hands, feet, arms, and legs to see how they react. Going along with this activity, you can encourage your baby to feel different textures themselves. I love using touch and feel books for this, but you can take your baby's hand or finger and gently run it over different textures. Use descriptive vocabulary to describe how they feel, like bumpy, soft, fuzzy, smooth, etc. In a few months, your baby will love doing this exercise on their own. While your baby's playing on their back, try tying some bells to their wrists or ankles. As they move their arms and legs, the bells will make a noise and add an extra auditory sensory experience to their playtime. This activity should only be done under very close adult supervision, along with all of these activities. Make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss out on any future learning activity videos. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments what your favorite activity was. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.